Hello everyone, and it's Scoundrel time. Oh yeah, we're taking a look at the Scoundrel DPS today. And we're having a little look. Again, I like to rock with, what's it called? Scrapper spec. That's what I tend to go with. I just don't like dirty fighting because my sniper plays dirty fighting. And oh my god, I got aggro on this guy. Oh, run away, run away, run away. Oh, damn it. Oh, see what I mean? That opening burst that you get from Scrapper spec, pretty awesome. You got your shoot first, you got your, what is it, fléchette round, I don't know how you say it. We got that, we keep that loaded up. Again, it gives our shoot first a little dot. Shoot first, it's kind of annoying shoot first. We can only really use it once. Because suppose we could use it every 2 minutes if we stealth out. Then we could use it. We could use disappearing act and fire it again, but then we can only fire it every 2 minutes. It's a very lengthy cooldown. But the thing that I like to do is when I play as Scoundrel DPS is I like to bring that little bit of utility to the raid. That's my goal as a Scoundrel DPS. My goal is to bring, you know, a little bit something different. I tend to go kind of a little bit of a hybrid spec when I do. I do put fully into Scrapper, but I don't put my points into what is it, crit and alacrity. I tend to put them more into the healer tree, just so I can have that little bit of, you know, that little bit of off spec healing that I like to do, because that's what I like to do with my Scoundrel. When I talk about the Scoundrel in relation to the Assassin, I don't really mean in terms of damage numbers, they're pretty close, I mean, but in terms of utility, yeah, the Scoundrel is just way ahead, way ahead of the Assassin. Again, we can do that every 2 minutes, we can res someone, we get our stealth res, which is pretty nice. We also have combat res, because we're a heal capable class, but I tend never to use combat res. Especially on, I try never to use it because it is a 5-minute cooldown. It's kind of annoying. With stealth res, you can use it. You can use it every 2 minutes. You get a 5-minute cooldown. You get your 2-minute cooldown on disappearing act, and again you can use that. Again, I'm aware that I'm losing DPS by doing this. I'm kind of ruining my DPS by getting that little bit more utility out there. But again, I prefer being that just more than a DPS. I don't want to be just a DPS in an operation. I want to be able to do something a little bit more than that. I want to be, you know, that person you go to when you need something, you need some off healing. You know, you can help out with the healers, and you can help out with other things. Again, you can help out with the resing. Again, it takes the pressure off the healers essentially to have something like an operative. Of course, the sorcerer is probably going to be better in terms of damage numbers, but again, we do bring the stealth res. That stealth res, don't underestimate that stealth res that we bring. Pretty awesome. It saves the healers doing the resing if we lose a DPS or if we lose a tank or something like that. You know, mistakes happen in operations. They don't tend to happen very much in story mode, which is the footage you're looking at right now, is Dread Fortress story mode. But they tend not to happen very much in story mode. Mistakes, hard mode, you get punished for making a mistake in HMs. Let's talk a little bit about what we have. What we have in Scrapper spec. Scrapper is the punchy spec. Again, we're going to punch things a lot. Punch this big Rancor with a metal pipe, we're gonna punch it. We're not gonna use the lightsaber. I think that's awesome. The smuggler is my favorite class. Favorite class to play in this game, I have to say. Scrapper is just fun. Scrapper's very good in PvP as well. And dirty fighting, I don't tend to go with that because I have a lethality sniper. And I don't really want to play, you know, the same spec in 2 different classes. I don't really like that. I like the class to feel unique. You know, we are very much the rogue of the game. We are another rogue class, which is pretty awesome. I love rogues, and I love shooting things in the back. We get our back blast with our shotguns. Shotguns are awesome. If you don't love shotguns, you know, shotguns are fantastic for us. I really love shooting things in the back, especially coming out of nowhere in PvP and using shoot first. I missed the knockdown. They changed that for 2.7. Got rid of our knockdown. Now everything just stands still. I don't know why they did that, to be honest. I guess, you know, you still get sort of stunned for a few seconds when you get done with shoot first. Shoot first is a bit of an issue. I'd like something to be able to use shoot first out of stealth. Maybe have it cost upper hand or something like that. That's another thing again we have to manage. Similar to the healer, upper hand, certain abilities can only be used when we have upper hand. Upper hand is generated when we use, the best way to generate upper hand is to just hit something with your pistol, blaster whip it's called. You get that. I mean, again, the operative is very similar. You get to use the knife instead of the shotgun, and you kind of like, if you like your kind of rogues to be slicing away at everything, you're gonna pick the operative over the scoundrel. But we get punches instead of stabbing. We're a puncher instead of a stabber. But I love it. I love fighting droids. Fighting against a droid and punching things is awesome. Again, we are a very proc-based class. It's not as difficult as the assassin to play, but it can be pretty annoying. We have a little dot to keep up. We have our, what is it, vital shot. We have that to keep up as well, because again we can proc our upper hand with our punches, or was it flying fists or something like that, the proc is called. So again, I love this class. Again, the biggest issue with it can be energy management. That's a big issue, especially when you're not taking the alacrity from the other skill tree, from the dirty fighting skill tree. Again, alacrity, I always take the healing because I want to be that utility class. I want to be something more than a DPS. That's why I rarely play a sniper or a sentinel or a marauder. But I just want to be that kind of class. And ever since I leveled my gunslinger first, and ever since I leveled my scoundrel, I've never bothered with my gunslinger, because the operative or scoundrel is just so much better. I find so much more about them. There's so much. Yeah, the gunslinger does produce more damage. Sure, it does. There's no doubting that. No one will ever doubt the gunslinger's damage potential. But I would say that the operative is just a lot more interesting. The scoundrel, sorry. I keep getting I hate this operative scoundrel thing. Scoundrel. I'm talking about a scoundrel, damn it. So yeah, the scoundrel is always going to be one of my favourite classes, because I love rogues. Love shooting people in the back. Again, we use back blast. We replace that with shoot first. That's what we replace shoot first with. But again, as a DPS class, I tend not to play them as pure DPS. I always like that a few points in the healer tree, just to get that little bit of extra healing, just to help boost the healers. It's not really useful in story mode ops. I guess you don't really need to be that hybrid spec in story mode ops, but in hard mode it can make a difference. If you look at some of the hard modes, if you look at, you know, Nerfa in the hard mode and with the new nightmare mode out, there is a few fights where you do need that little extra help with things like cleanses and whatnot. You do want that class that can self-cleanse and can cleanse others. So again, we're not being brought for our damage generally. I don't tend to see myself, I don't really care if we did have damage meters in SWTOR. I don't care if I'm the lowest DPS. As long as I'm doing healing, as long as I'm doing some cleansing, as long as I can do some reviving, I'm happy with that. And I always think that DPS, should we do more than just deal damage? Because dealing damage is a very basic requirement of a DPS, okay? Every single DPS class in the game having that requirement to deal damage. That's why I like the operative and the scoundrel, because we can provide that little bit of utility, and I like that. And I like the fact that some of the bosses, some of the ops bosses in Dread Fortress and Dread Palace actually do require some little bit of utility. Again, there's things to cleanse. Some of the healers never cleanse. This pug was really bad. I'm not going to show you Brontes, but I ended up cleansing everyone in Brontes when the Kephis clone came. Not going to show that though, because it was a horrible fight, with half the group dying at the first lightning phase. Well, not that lightning phase, the phase where she arcs the lightning out and you have to kill the ads. That was a horrible phase. Maybe I'll show some of it, but again, I ended up cleansing a lot of things, and that's what I like to do. I mean, again, the sorcerer can do this, the sorcerer to an extent can do this, but you don't want the sorcerer to do this. You want the sorcerer to be dealing damage, because they do a lot better at dealing damage than us Scoundrels. But again, that bit of utility, I like that. Loving that bit of raid utility that we bring. So that's all for this video. A little discussion about Scoundrel DPS. Next time I think we'll move up in the world, and I think we will discuss my favourite class. Sarcasm. Oh yeah, my most hated class in the game. It is, of course, the Marauder, and I will explain why in that video. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.